At certain points in the course, we're going to have these little modules which I call a power push. Basically, what we do is take the things that we've already learned in previous lessons and inject something that's really going to accelerate us to the next level. So let's get started with this first power push. The verb to do in Spanish, so the full verb, the infinitive to do, is hacer. So obviously the H is always silent in Spanish pronunciation. We simply start from here, hacer. So hacer is a very, very big, important power verb because it means to do, but as a bonus, it also means to make. So we have the one verb, hacer, meaning to do or to make. If we wanted to say to do it, what happens is the it gets hooked on to the end. So we have hacer, to do, and then lo, which we already know from previous lessons, means it. So you have hacer plus lo, and that equals hacerlo. You hook the it onto the end of the verb and you treat it as though it were all one word. So to do it would be hacerlo. Hacer, to do, to make, and then lo for it, hacerlo. Do you remember how to say I want? Quiero. Now if we wanted to say I want to do it, we put these two elements together. So it would be quiero hacerlo, because we have quiero for I want, and then to do it, hacer, to do, and lo, it. Quiero hacerlo. So we're putting both elements together. How do you think you would say, I want to do it today? Quiero hacerlo hoy. So I want, quiero, to do it, hacerlo, today, hoy. What about I don't want to do it? No quiero hacerlo. So I don't want is no quiero. If we have quiero, I want, I don't want, no quiero. And then to do it, hacerlo. No quiero hacerlo. How would you say, I don't want to do it now? No quiero hacerlo ahora. I don't want, no quiero, to do it, hacerlo now, ahora. No quiero hacerlo ahora. Do you remember the word for something? Algo. Algo. Try to say, it's something important. Es algo importante. The word for very in Spanish, maybe you can remember it. Muy. Muy. Try to say, it's something very important. Es algo muy importante. What about, it's something very important and I want to do it today? Take your time, do it step by step. Es algo muy importante y quiero hacerlo hoy. Let's break it down. So, it's something, es algo, very important, muy importante, and y. I want to do it, quiero, I want, hacerlo, to do it, hoy, today. With all of these long sentences, the trick is always to take it step by step. So the first thing you try to say is it's something. Es algo. Then, how do you say very important? Muy importante. And is y. I want to do it. This would be quiero to do it, hacerlo, today, hoy. So always take it step by step, like you're building one block on top of the next. How about it's not something important? No es algo importante. How would you ask? Is it something important? ¿Es algo importante? Do you remember how to say I need? Necesito. So we have ne, se, si, to. Necesito. Try now to say I need to do it. Necesito hacerlo. So here we have it working in the exact same way. Instead of I want to do it, quiero hacerlo, now we're replacing it with I need to do it. So I need, necesito, to do, hacer, it, lo. Necesito hacerlo. Try to say I need to do it today. Necesito hacerlo hoy. I need, necesito, to do it, hacerlo, hoy, today. Try to say, I need to do it today because it's very important. Necesito hacerlo hoy porque es muy importante. Again, I need, necesito, to do it, hacerlo, today, hoy, because it is very important, porque es muy importante. Say, I'm sorry, but it's urgent and I need to do it. Lo siento, pero es urgente y necesito hacerlo. Breaking it down, we have I'm sorry, lo siento, I feel it. But, pero, it's urgent, es urgente. And I need to do it. Y necesito hacerlo. How would you say, I need to do it? Necesito hacerlo. Finally, how would you say, I don't need to do it? No necesito hacerlo. Let's run through a quick check because I want to make sure that everything is remaining clear and that you're not getting confused with what we've done so far. How would you say, I want? Quiero. I want it. Lo quiero. How would you say, I want to do it? Quiero hacerlo. How would you say, I need? Necesito. And I need it. Lo necesito. How would you say, I need to do it? Necesito hacerlo. I don't need to do it. No necesito hacerlo. How would you say, I don't need to do it today? No necesito hacerlo hoy. What is the word for I have in Spanish? Tengo. And I have it? Lo tengo. We already know that I want is quiero. Can you remember now how to say he wants, she wants, or it wants? Quiere. So instead of quiero, it becomes quiere. How would you say he wants it? Lo quiere. How would you say he doesn't want it? No lo quiere. Now try to say he wants to do it. Quiere hacerlo. It's important and he wants to do it now. Es importante y quiere hacerlo ahora. How would you say, she wants to do it for me tomorrow? Quiere hacerlo para mí mañana. Try to say, I'm sorry, but he wants to do it tomorrow. Lo siento, pero quiere hacerlo mañana. If you got confused by some of these and made some mistakes, but then when you saw the answers, it came to you, yes, I know what it is now, that's fine. But if you were really confused and you don't understand why you got some things wrong, I would like to ask you to go back now and repeat the series that we did on the 3 power verbs. Because it's very important that as we move forward, we're not confusing the new information with the old information, because you just dig yourself a bigger and bigger hole. So it's very important that you understand the modules as we go through them. So once again, if you made mistakes, it's fine, so long as you understood why you made the mistake and you can understand it clearly. So if you were to repeat this video a second time, you would get through it without too much trouble. If, however, you're confused to the point that you really don't understand why your mistake was necessarily wrong, please go back and repeat the earlier video now on 3 power verbs before moving any further ahead in the course. Let's introduce and play around with another very important verb, which is to know. In Spanish, that is saber. So to know is saber. How would you say, I want to know? Quiero saber. So we have I want, quiero, and to know, saber. Quiero saber. What about I don't want to know? No quiero saber. If we wanted to say to know it, it works exactly the same way as before with hacer. So you would have saber, which is the verb to know, literally means to know, plus lo, which is the it. So you again would hook it on to the end. To know it would be saberlo, and you pronounce it as though it were all one word, saberlo. Try to say, I want to know it. Quiero saberlo. I don't want to know it. No quiero saberlo. Can you remember how to say he wants or she wants or it wants? Quiere. Now try to say he wants to know it. Quiere saberlo. The word for what in Spanish is simply que, with an accent over the E. Que. How would you say, what does he want? ¿Qué quiere? From a previous lesson, can you remember the verb to do or to make? Hacer. How would you say, what does he want to do now? Think it out step by step. ¿Qué quiere hacer ahora? So we have what does he want? ¿Qué quiere? Remember that in Spanish we don't have this does or does he, does she, does it. It simply goes to what he wants. ¿Qué quiere? So what does he want is simply what he wants. ¿Qué quiere? And then we have to do, hacer, ahora, now. So going back to our English, what is ¿qué? Does he want is all quiere. To do, the verb hacer, and now ahora. So literally, ¿qué quiere hacer ahora? Let's try this one. How would you say, what does she want to know? ¿Qué quiere saber? So what is ¿qué? Does she want is all quiere, literally what she wants. ¿Qué quiere? And then the verb to know is saber. What does she want to know? ¿Qué quiere saber? Of course, this could also mean what does he want to know or what does it want to know? Try this one. It's urgent and she wants to know it. Es urgente y quiere saberlo. So it's urgent, es urgente, and she wants y quiere to know it is all saberlo. Do you remember how to say I need? Necesito. How would you say I need to know? Necesito saber. And I need to know it. Necesito saberlo. I don't need to know it. No necesito saberlo. No necesito, I don't need. To know it, saberlo. Lastly, try this one. I need to know it because it's very important for me. Necesito saberlo porque es muy importante para mí. So I need to know it. Necesito saberlo. Of course, we could also say I need to know, which would simply be necesito saber, because saber is to know and lo is it. Necesito saberlo because porque it's very important, es muy importante para mí. At this point in the course, I'd like to introduce an extra lesson into this module because I want to clarify the positioning of the pronoun lo. We have in these two examples lo quiero and quiero hacerlo. So you can see in the first example that lo is being positioned at the front, whereas in the second example it's being positioned at the back. So it's being hooked onto the verb. So here's the rule for where to place lo, just in case there's any confusion. Whenever you're using the full verb or the infinitive as it's known in grammar, so this is basically to whatever, meaning to do, to know, to see, to tell. whenever you're using the to form of the verb, the full verb, then the rule is that lo will be hooked onto the end of that full verb. So in this example, we have I want to do it. Here you can see we're clearly using the full verb to do. So just as we have the word order in English, Spanish will follow that, and it will place the it onto the end. This is why we get quiero hacerlo. Another example would be I need to know it. Here again, it's clearly obvious that we're using the full verb to know. So once again, the it can be tagged onto the end of that, and we would get necesito saberlo. Now, if the verb is conjugated, meaning I want, you want, he, she, or it wants, and so forth. So we're breaking down the verb into the different angles, I, you, he, she, or it, we, and they. This is where we're conjugating the verb. That is when the lo will come up front. So in a previous lesson, we saw the example of I want it. And that would be lo quiero. Here now, the lo is being put up front because we're not using the full verb. We're conjugating the verb. There's no to want in this. It's I want. Another example is I need it. Here again, this would be lo necesito. Or I have it. Lo tengo. So to summarize once again, when you use the full verb, the to whatever, then the lo is hooked onto the end. And the word order is just the same as you're used to in English. I want to know it, I want to see it, I want to do it. These are all using the full verbs with the lo hooked on the end. It's only when we conjugate verbs, in other words, we break them down into the different angles. Taking the verb to want, this would be conjugated as I want, you want, he, she, it wants, we want, and they want. So that is when the lo goes up front. And we had our 3 examples from the power verbs earlier. Lo quiero, lo necesito, and lo tengo. I want it, I need it, and I have it. The word que, spelt Q-U-E, gives us a lot of glue in Spanish because we have what, which is que, with an accent over the E, and we have because, which is porque. We also have why, which is porque, again with the accent over the E. So it may be easy to get a little bit confused by this at first, which is why I just want to draw your attention to it. So if we put them side by side, you can see that because and why are pretty much the same word. It's just a slight difference in how we approach them. So because would be porque, and why is porque. It's really just where the stress falls on the word. So with because, the stress is falling around here, porque. Whereas for why, it's very definitely at the end, porque. How would you say, I need to know why? Necesito saber por qué. So I need, necesito, I need to know, necesito saber. And then why, por qué. How would you say, I want to know why? Quiero saber por qué. Try to say, she wants to know why. Quiere saber por qué. So quiere means he wants, she wants, it wants. And then the rest is the same. To know, saber, why, por qué. Try to say, she wants to know why he has it. Quiere saber por qué lo tiene. Did you catch lo tiene from a previous lesson? For he has it, or she has it, it has it. Everything is tiene. So we have quiere saber. She wants to know why, por qué. He has it, lo tiene. How would you say, she wants to know why he doesn't have it today? quiere saber porque no lo tiene hoy. So she wants to know, quiere saber. Porque, why? He doesn't have it today. No lo tiene hoy. So all of this, he doesn't have it, is no lo tiene. How would you say, why does she want to know? ¿Por qué quiere saber? Here, our intonation is not so important to ask a question because ¿por qué is already saying why. So the word is indicating that it's a question. So you don't have to rely on the intonation of your voice to ask a question when you start with ¿por qué? Because this already implies that it's a question. Why does she want to know? ¿Por qué? Why? Quiere saber. Why? She wants to know. Can you remember the word for I have? Tengo. And the word for he has, she has, it has? Tiene. Here's a longer one to try. Again, do it step by step, building each brick on top of the last. Try to say, I want to know why he doesn't have it for me today. Quiero saber por qué no lo tiene para mí hoy. Breaking it down, we have I want to know, quiero, I want, saber, to know, quiero saber. Then why is por qué. He doesn't have it, no lo tiene. For me, para mí, today, hoy. So going back to our English, we have I want, quiero. To know, saber, quiero saber. Why? ¿Por qué? Quiero saber por qué. Oh, now all of this, he doesn't have it, is no lo tiene. Literally, he has it not, something like that, because we don't use doesn't in Spanish. He doesn't have it, no lo tiene, for me today, para mí, hoy. Let's continue practicing with the introduction of a new verb, which is going to be to eat. And that in Spanish is comer. So to eat is comer. Try to say, I want to eat. Quiero comer. How would you say, it's good to eat? Es bueno comer. So comer literally does mean to eat. It's just the full verb. Es bueno comer. Try to say, I need to eat. Necesito comer. How would you say she wants to eat? Quiere comer. Of course, this could always be he wants to eat or it wants to eat as well, because quiere means all three. Try this one. How would you say, I want to know why she doesn't want to eat it? Quiero saber por qué no quiere comerlo. Here we have quiero, I want, and I want to know, quiero saber. The word for why is por qué. So I want to know why. Quiero saber por qué. She doesn't want. All of that is contained with no quiere. And then to eat it, comerlo. If we go back to the English, we have I want, quiero, to know, saber, why, por qué. Now, all of this she doesn't want is no quiere. And then to eat it, we have comer with the it hooked on. So we get comerlo. How would you say he doesn't want to eat it? no quiere comerlo. Here we see again quiere working for he, she, or it. Normally it's understood in the context of the situation, which one you're referring to, which angle. Try this last one. I have it and I want to eat it. Lo tengo y quiero comerlo.